Our vision in Germany is to see people come to do missions and in Germany, and we also want to see German nationals be sent out on mission. So we're very excited to be working alongside the Great Exchange and to have so many people coming to work with us to share the gospel and to encourage the local church.
Yeah, we like working with university students. The University of Heidelberg is very similar in size to the University of Georgia. It's approximately 35,000 students living in a post-Christian society that they would call it, I guess. And we took the survey over when we first moved to Germany 4.5 years ago and started to use it to talk to students, to initiate conversations about the gospel. And yeah, it was just really effective because we wanted to get the students thinking about questions that they just don't normally think about. And in fact, that was a lot of the response that we received was, wow, these are questions I really should be thinking about. And we found it just an effective way to plant some seeds into the students' lives that the Holy Spirit could then grow and water and use to just really just call them to Christ. So yeah, we find it to be a very effective and solid, good way of just initiating those conversations that would otherwise be difficult to have.
It's encouraged them to really get involved this year with the Great Exchange. We had a lot of interesting conversations. A recent conversation we had with a German student. I was asking him what is the solution to the world's problems. I was very surprised when he told me that he thought a one world government was the answer. I thought, is he pulling my leg? That's an English phrase. But no, he was really serious. He thought that was the answer.
I think the majority of students that I talk to through the Great Exchange don't really think about these questions too much. And so several conversations I've had with Hindus or with atheists, agnostics, Buddhists, Muslims. They all find the questions to be fascinating. Their spiritual backgrounds are relatively the same in such that their parents once went to church, but not very religiously, they would say, and that they really don't have any involvement at all. Unless it's maybe a Muslim, in which case they'll even say, I'm a Muslim, but by name only, not necessarily in practice. Some of the questions about how good are you? The students will rate themselves rather high. They'll say, I'm an 8. And you kind of ask, well, why do you believe yourself to be an 8? And they'll say, well, because I know I'm not perfect, but I'm not, very, very bad either. And so we've had some interesting responses to different questions. A lot of people in the University of Heidelberg believe in evolution, but they don't really base it on too much good information. When you prod a little bit deeper, there's just not a lot of foundation there. Yeah, in the 4 days that we did the Great Exchange there, we did over 300 surveys, gave out over 250 books, More Than a Carpenter by Josh McDowell, and we're able to have a lot of good conversations about Christ with a lot of students. So we thought it to be a very effective program, and yeah, Heidelberg is just a city that's ripe for the harvest, we feel. So the Hochschultage is an evangelistic outreach that they do, also very centered on prayer. It is coordinated through all the different Christian student groups on campus. So they'll have over 100 students that will be helping to lead the effort. And it is basically all day, all afternoon, all evening with prayer breakfasts, evangelism, events along the Neckar River, in the parks there to reach children and families, nightly events, open mic nights, preaching, different things. So it's a great event. It takes a lot of effort to pull it off, and the Hochschultage this year has the Great Exchange as the evangelistic arm of their outreach. So we have a really good opportunity to get in there and get a lot of involvement and a lot of help from the students there on campus.
We anticipate that the team is going to be completing the surveys, doing the 21-day challenge, working alongside the church there and working alongside the students to encourage them to do evangelism. The students are going to be given a short training session on how to do the Great Exchange, and it's a great encouragement to be able to do evangelism with a group of other people. It's so much easier to do it that way. I find it much easier, and so we're very excited to experience sharing the gospel. The German students love to speak English, so we're going to have plenty of opportunities, and we're excited about the outcomes.